Well, alright guys and girls and ladies and gentlemen, this is Jerningham here, Dan Hauser. Ashley Murphy, man arrested over a primary school teacher's murder a couple of weeks ago. The guy that got arrested was a 30-year-old in Ireland. This school teacher was a beautiful woman, known by most people. Known by her friends, her family, the people that knew her and her co-workers at work, and people in general. And she didn't deserve to have her life taken by this man. Some people would say it was a sickening act. Some people would say, why is this man still breathing? Why is he still alive? If this guy did this in America, he'd get the electric chair, needle, or get gassed. But I think they only do the electric needle, well, the needle in America. But this is the UK, obviously. And it's very heartbreaking when you come across someone that you know that's had their life taken and had a whole life ahead of her, or was going to have a whole life ahead of her. And we're going to have a look into it a bit more about this woman. Very sickening. Let's play the video. Hold on a minute. I forgot to unplug my headphones so I can hear the TV.
Well, we start this hour with that breaking news. The arrest made on suspicion of murder. A man in his 30s. This is regarding the murder of Ashliny Murphy, the school teacher who was murdered last week in County Offaly. We can speak to our correspondent David Blevins now. And David, this arrest took place shortly after Ashline's funeral today.
Yes, police are providing very little detail at this stage for operational
Dublin as well,
other than to confirm that detectives investigating the murder of the 23-year-old primary school teacher last Wednesday have arrested a man in his 30s. He's currently being detained at Tullamore Garda station under Section 4 of the Criminal Justice Act 1984, and that questioning could go on for some time. The An Garda Síochána, the Irish Police Service, are adamant that they will not be making any further comment at this stage, but it is nonetheless a significant development, and as you say, it comes just a matter of hours after the small village of Mount Bolus in County Offaly came to a complete standstill for the funeral of Ashliny Murphy. There can be no question whatsoever about the esteem in which she was held. Literally hundreds upon hundreds of people turned out and packed into and around the small parish of St. Bridget. The mourners were led by her parents, her brother, her sister and her boyfriend. Ireland's President Michael D. Higgins and his wife Sabina came along. There were some very touching scenes as they comforted the family in the church and gently placed their hands on Ashline's coffin. Also there, the Prime Minister and Taoiseach Micheál Martin, and that's because really the murder of this young woman has had an enormous impact both at home and abroad. People are not just saddened by it, they are very angry about the fact that after all this time, women are still being subjected to violence, and there have been all sorts of vigils and calls for a change in attitude, for this to be the watershed moment. Ashliny Murphy was just one of those very special people, it seems. A very popular school teacher. Her own class of 5 and 6-year-olds provided a guard of honour as her coffin arrived at the church this morning. She was a talented camogie player on the pitch, very popular too, and in fitting form, I think, in this rural part of Ireland, County Offaly, traditional musicians both inside and outside the church paid their respects to a very talented fiddle player. And I think that's the important thing to remember today. While the murder investigation continues behind the scenes, and while there has been this arrest, this is a day when Ashline's family and friends want to remember a very beautiful young woman who was so cruelly snatched away in unthinkable circumstances.
Well, I don't know what to say about that, guys and girls and ladies and gentlemen. It just keeps happening, all these murders and these killings, and people get locked up, and their families are there to be grieving the pain, which is not right, and I think it's totally wrong. And you know, if you take someone's life around the world, you should have yours taken and be killed yourself. And some people would say that's too cruel to say that, but what about the damage it does to their family? They don't think of it, do they? You know, people don't use this a lot, and they think it's okay and acceptable to do that to people, hurt people, abuse people, do horrible things to people. and they expect to get away with it, which it shouldn't be allowed in this world, I know. But it is very heartbreaking that you hear something like that happening. And it does scare a lot of people. Let's all... it just angers me thinking about this. People should be able to go where they want in the world, walk where they want, without getting judged or attacked or anything happening to them. But anyway, I'm just lost for words. Why would someone do that? I mean, I can't stand terrorists, and now someone does that, walks around stabbing innocent people. It's not good. And anyway, I hope that woman rests in peace, and it's a heartbreaking thing that's happened. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Peace. Take it easy.